Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Boob Tube Buddies podcast, featuring our discussion of AMC's Better Call Saul, episode 1 of the 3rd season, entitled Mabel. Just a couple of quick bits of information before we get into it. You can check out all of our content at www.boobtubebuddies.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Reddit, or email us at boobtubebuddies@gmail.com to get in on the conversation. We'll make sure all your questions, thoughts, theories, everything like that get up on air. So, let's get into it. My name is Foxman, and I'm joined by the Saul to my Jimmy. What up, Giblets?
Nice, buddy.
Yeah, just keeping it nice and simple for episode 1.
I would have rather been the Kim to your Jimmy, but...
Oh, no. Don't say that as we're sitting in a grown man blanket fort in my utility room.
You forgot to tell everybody we're on location.
Yes, I decided, it's a little echoey in the other room that we've been recording in, so I bought a bunch of moving blankets, draped them all around my utility room, and we are serious. It's basically, I feel like we should be flipping on Wave Race 64 next.
It's fucking awkward.
Okay, so what'd you think overall of the episode before we get into the coverage and start going into it?
Goddamn disappointing.
Okay, so it was pretty boring, right?
It was super fucking slow, especially for a season premiere.
Now, I get that Better Call Saul, and Breaking Bad to a certain extent, but especially Better Call Saul, is like a very nuanced show. Mm-hmm. So there are definitely parts that are very artistic in the way that they're and stylistic.
I love the cinematography.
Yes, and drawn-out shots are good, but not if every single scene has drawn-out shots.
Every one of them.
Every single one. I mean, I actually found the car breaking down scene interesting. I think that you seemed a little bored by that.
If it had been the only one or one of the only ones in the episode, I could have gotten it. But like you said, every single scene was just long, drawn out.
Kim laboring over the punctuation.
What the fuck was that?
Yes, so I mean, it was a lot of shots. Mike sitting there eating the pistachios.
Oh.
Honestly, I don't know if that would have been better if we did not have closed captioning on, but the closed caption guy was clearly bored because he's like, pistachio cracks. Slight rustling of pistachio bowl.
Inside of Pistachio Falls. It was the most entertaining part of the episode for me.
We were laughing hysterically at the pistachio commentary.
Even little things that weren't supposed to be drawn out for cinematic purposes were drawn out. Like when Mike leaves his house to follow the guy, do we really need to see the wicked fucking
turn?
Slow 3-point turn? Why couldn't his car just be facing that fucking direction so we can go?
I agree.
So goddamn stupid.
I agree, and man, I really like Better Call Saul. So we are going to get into the positives of it. I swear to God, we're not just going to shit on it the entire episode.
I'm a huge fan. I love the fucking show.
Yes, and honestly, we're looking at all of our shows that we cover as fans, so there will be moments that we're disappointed, but there was a lot, I think, that was good about it. So before we break it down in detail, let's get into our first segment, one that you guys are all familiar with, unless you're joining us for the first time, which this game is called Summon It Up in a Tweet, and it is 140 characters or less used to summarize the entire episode. So, here's Summon It Up in a Tweet.
Oh yeah, we're summon it up, so summon it up. Summon it up, oh yeah, we're summon it up. Oh yeah, we're summon it up, so summon it up. Summon it up and up.
All right, so Giblets, this is our first episode of Better Call Saul, so you are the guest here. Well, I guess you're the co-host. I do that every time.
Jesus Christ.
God, fucking
derogatory
maniac. All right, so fire it off, buddy. What you got?
Well, I mean, I know I could have done this summon up in a tweet in about 5 characters, but I tried to expand it. Total bore. Chuck is a whore. Mike couldn't have searched the car more. Would continue to write, but I'm about to snore.
Oh my God, that was it? Okay. Watermelon. Not really sure what to say. I wanted to like it, but it was hard to stay awake and paying attention. Did I mention, if this is the appetizer, where's the entree? And that is Summon It Up in a Tweet. All right, buddy, what'd you think?
Well, I'm surprised that you got William Shatner to read out your tweet.
It was very, Weird. Phrasing, indeed.
Good job, though.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get into the episode a little bit. And first, to let you guys know the things that we have coming up, we have an original song by Jables. And by original, I mean it's a parody of a song I had never heard before that's clearly meant for a generation before my own.
Because you're over 16, so of course you didn't hear it.
So we got that. We have an interview with somebody from the Better Call Saul subreddit. We also have 2 truths and 1 big little lie, which is going to be informative and fun. So let's start off here. So every season starts off at the Cinnabon in black and white, and can I just say real quick, I feel like if you're going to set him up in a retail location, that a mall is a really bad idea because of all the foot traffic. Like, wouldn't it be better for him to be in a Cinnabon that's standing on its own?
Why?
Or like a Payless Shoes? Because a mall has so many extra people. Thousands of people walk through a mall every day. Whereas if you set them up working anywhere, I mean, name it, JCPenney's, Blockbuster, well, they don't have Blockbusters anymore, but Target, Cinnabon, a Wendy's, whatever the fuck it is, if you have them in a standalone brick and mortar location, that has to have one 1/100th the amount of foot traffic that a mall does. And the whole point is he's supposed to be flying under the radar.
Oh, okay. See, I was wondering why there needed to be less foot traffic.
Yeah. Because the whole point with him in these scenes is it's occurring after Breaking Bad. So he's supposed to be flying under the radar. Did you not get that?
God
Do you
damn
not
it.
remember that?
The one thing I wrote down on my notes, the one sentence.
Yeah, because I wrote up 3 pages and I look over at you at the end, you hold up your
Half
paper
a
at me,
sentence.
and it's fucking 6
literally,
words.
yeah, it was like 5 words. But my 5 words were, because I'm going to sound like a fucking moron, but I was under the impression that these were all before. Like, the black and white is before even Better Call Saul.
God.
So
even
I was wondering why
season 1 and 2?
Yeah, so I was wondering why he was so bald in the new, so that just fucking blew my mind.
Jesus.
Yeah, I might as well be a fucking guest.
You were joking around before we
About
came on
being a
air.
buffoon?
Yes, and you were like, what if I played a character where I was like a buffoon and didn't know anything?
Don't need to play.
Nailed it.
All right, well, so shit's making a lot more sense now. And
Okay.
now I totally agree with you. It would be a lot better if there was a lot less foot traffic.
Anywhere else. I mean, put him in a fucking Verizon store or something like that. Like,
That is
it's
silly.
crazy to have him be in a mall.
Although it does give me a craving for fucking Cinnabons every time I watch
Oh my
it.
god. Have you seen Louis C.K.'s bit where he's talking
Oh my
about...
god, yes.
like, just give me the warm jizz. Don't skimp on it. Oh, that is fucking funny. Okay, so it goes through this. Gene is his name here. He takes off his name tag, goes on his lunch break. Some kid who had stolen stuff in the mall comes running past and, like, very clumsily drops a bunch of shit that he's stolen.
Yeah. What was he saying? Tablets?
I
Looked
couldn't
like, maybe?
tell. They look like
why wouldn't
fucking
he have at
VHS
least-
tapes.
First off, I hate fucking Saul for narking on him. Poor
Yeah,
little kid.
I know.
I was really hoping he was just...
Well, this isn't Saul. This is Gene, and
Oh,
he's playing the part.
Fuck Gene.
Well, and he's playing the part until after he rats the kid out. All of a sudden, he stands up and what is he yells? He's like,
Get a
"Say
lawyer!"
nothing, get a lawyer!" And the kid goes, "Fuck you, asshole," or something
I
like
thought
that.
the cop said fuck, called him an asshole.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because
Oh,
he was like,
okay.
hey, thanks for the help. Which I thought was fucked up with the cop because he basically told the kid that he narked on him. And
What do
then
you
he
think
fucking
the
works
odds
at
are
Cinnabon.
that the train depot next to my house is coming through? I've spent fucking $50, fucking 6 hours cleaning out my utility room, draping this shit everywhere, and the fucking Polar Express drives
I had to
past.
scream over it. This sucks.
Ooh, that is funny. Okay, so anyway, Gene goes back to... I mean, and this train has been going on for like 6 fucking minutes at this point. Like, okay, anyway.
Vince Gilligan must have
heard that we
this
didn't like the
train.
episode?
Yeah.
He must have... That's pretty funny.
He's
All
the
right.
conductor.
So Gene goes back to the Cinnabon and ends up passing out. And we won't know anything else until, I believe, isn't it at the end of each season we have another flashback to it? Or is this just the beginning of each season?
I think it's just the beginning.
Okay, so I guess that was interesting. What was last season's when he
got trapped
was
in
there?
the fucking
exactly
thing, yeah.
Yes. So and he didn't want to go outside because when he flips the handle, it's gonna
Yeah.
like make the police siren thing.
Why does he give a shit about that?
Yeah, because he could get away fast enough regardless. He doesn't want any run-ins with law enforcement. Because after he leaves the Breaking Bad stuff, he's on the lam. And he is complicit in all the stuff that happened.
Fucking loser.
You?
Well, me and Saul both.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you for not knowing any of this.
Thanks. He hears fucking loser, he just automatically assumes me.
Okay, so picking up where last season ended, Jimmy is admitting to Chuck that he messed with the paperwork, and Chuck has the tape recorder. And it's all about the Mesa Verde stuff. He changed the address. And,
fuck Chuck.
Yeah, and so Jimmy is admitting it to him. It's really hard to keep up with the Jimmys and the Jeans and the Sauls and the... so Slippin' Jimmy goes outside and talks to Howard and tells him Chuck's coming back, and at this point we see Chuck's inside, like, grabbing the thing, the tape recorder, slamming into his desk real quick, and...
tinfoil lined desk.
Everything's lined in tinfoil.
I hate that, by the way. Like, I hate his whole... fucking made-up disease that he has.
Yeah, what do you not like about it?
It just fucking irks me because it's obviously not real. It's just to him. I mean, there's nothing that's actually affecting him.
Isn't that all psychoses, though?
I mean, I guess, but it just fucking pisses me off because he's like, he pretends like he's getting fucking burned when he touches a battery. Like, I mean, I get it to an extent, but I don't know. I guess I don't understand that too.
Oh my god, no empathy for a mental illness.
Dude, my favorite part of the whole fucking series was when he had
has
to go
a
to the
mental
hospital.
breakdown and go into the...
Oh my god, when he was in the hospital being forced to do all this shit, I was seriously like cheering. I was getting so goddamn excited. I wanted him to goddamn die.
He's such a good actor because he really makes you hate him.
Yes.
Because even when Jimmy isn't being a total fucking shithead, he is always being brought down by Chuck. No matter how hard he works to curry Chuck's favor and to take care of him and showing genuine affection, it's just never enough. And it actually plays out in that moment where he's looking contemplative and Kim asks him what's going on. He's like, there was like a 10-minute period there where Chuck didn't hate me. And it's kind of sad because he obviously like really craves the praise of his older brother, kind of like you. What's up, Rob Job?
Rob Job. He listened to Walking Dead. I don't know if he's going to listen to this one.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, he likes it, but I told him how shitty it was going to be, so maybe he won't.
Oh, there's a ringing endorsement. Won't even tell his own brother to listen to our podcast. Okay, and then this is the part where Jimmy grabs the book called Adventures of Mabel. That's what the episode's named after. I did a quick search to like read up on the Wikipedia of this. No, it's a real thing. Oh. And I even read up on the actor. I didn't see anything that immediately jumped out at me on the Wikipedia page of being some double entendre for the episode. But I'm sure like the computer or armchair warriors, what are they called? Whatever. I bet they're gonna dig something up about that tomorrow.
Okay. I thought there was something else in the episode that I missed. So no. I didn't see anything about armchair warriors.
That is the problem with podcasting immediately afterwards, is that I bet a lot of other people releasing their podcast go the next morning and they're on Reddit, like looking to see what everybody has to say, whereas you and I are giving like a honest fucking reactions.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually think that this would be a good time to kick over to the first segment. If it's cool with you, I think we should go ahead and get into your sweet song.
The edited version?
Okay, so you know what? Let's kick over to the honestly what's become one of my favorite segments that we do here at Boob Tube Buddies. Here is Jib Jab with Jables.
Jib Jab. Ladies and gentlemen, Jib Jab with Jables.
All right, first Jib Jab with Jables of the Better Call Saul season. What you got for us, buddy?
Well, as you know, I'm pretty musically inclined, so I decided to write a little ditty by my buddy Shawn Mendes.
And wait, who is Shawn Mendes for all the adults in the room?
He's a tween wave, I guess it's called.
So here's what I'm imagining in my head, because when I'm podcasting, I'm thinking not in terms of like a large audience. I'm thinking like that like the one person that I'm hitting. So like I'm imagining the person who's my age or in their 20s and driving in their car on the way to class or work or out for a jog with their headphones in, and now they've got to listen to some teeny bopper parody about Better Call Saul.
It's the substance. It's not the music. It's the actual words. They'll listen and they'll appreciate it.
Okay. You know what? I did listen to it earlier, and it is quite good. I was impressed.
Aw.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay, so anyway, here it is.
I won't lie to you. I fucked up, now I don't know what to do. You see, I was standing there just minding my own business. Then it felt like out of the blue, this bitch came up to me and she handed me her purse, started punching herself in the face too. I know that I deserve better than jail time, even though the cops said I was a bag of slime. Tell me now, is there anywhere you think that I could stay out of jail anyway at all? Oh yeah, the TV said I better call Saul. I was in trouble too for getting in the wrong Subaru. Yeah, sure, the window's broke and I do not have the keys, and in my bag was the radio. But my lawyer told me all of this was circumstantial, doesn't make it Grand Theft Auto. I tell you, no one can do better than he can. After my third B&E strike, still no pen. So would you rather take the chance or just throw out some cash? Not too much, we're talking maybe $1,000. If you're willing to pay to play, call Saul Goodman. Ooh yeah, call Saul Goodman. You'll just pay a fine, there won't be no jail time. Promise I won't let you down. I once killed a bitch, threw her body in a ditch. Saul convinced the jury that she drowned. So my friend, I think you better make that call. I'm telling you, you won't regret it, not at all. So don't you give up hope, cause when you drop the soap, you won't have to live in fear at all. Anytime you break the law, you better call Saul. Ooh, yeah. You better call Saul. Better call. You better call. You better call. Better call Saul. You better call Saul.
Okay, nice job, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Always fucking killing it with these little songs. I'm surprised you didn't go with a Disney ditty.
I'm gonna save that maybe for a finale.
Wow.
I know. Maybe I'll do a whole musical episode.
There's no way you're going to be able to get through the entire season without dipping into Hakuna Matata or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. But you do love your Pumbaa.
I fucking do. When I was a young warthog.
Very nice.
Thanks. Okay, so Kim's her very first scene here, she's talking to some old lady. Jimmy comes in and's talking to her. I don't know. It's just more of the back and forth of where she wants to do things by the books all the time. She can't give a client who just came in right over to him, and he's like, "What's the big deal?" And it's just kind of playing up the whole oil and water sort of thing.
Yeah, I obviously side with him, though. I mean, what is the big deal?
Well, I think that the big deal is that they're lawyers, so like that she has, I don't know, centered her entire life around following the law to a T.
All of a sudden, lawyers are upstanding citizens.
I think she is.
Ah, fuck her.
Yeah. And keep in mind, I come from a family of lawyers and judges, so...
Dude, all my best buddies are lawyers. My brother's the lawyer.
Oh, yeah, that's true. What our prop job. Okay, so, I don't know, nothing else really in that part, but we do see Chuck showing Howard, his partner, the tape of Jimmy, and Howard's like, okay, well, he's a real son of a bitch, I get that, but The door's closed on Mesa Verde. There is nothing this is not going to hold up in a court of law, so what are we doing with this? And Chuck is just like smarmy fucking douchebag look. He's like,
what to do.
well, we'll see what to do about this.
Asshole.
Okay, so let's get to something a little bit more interesting. Mike picking up where he left off last season, which is in the desert.
I'm so happier with Mike's whole story.
You were not with it?
No. I'm saying like I'm more interested in finding out what's going on with that.
Is Mike your favorite character of Better Call Saul? Me too.
Mike was my favorite character of fucking Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he's awesome.
My shit. Yeah.
He plays like these subtle little scenes that we're talking about where they're drawn out. He plays it well because he has this look of just like a really weathered, tired old man, but like he's really expressive in a mono expressive kind of way.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
he is. Nobody else could play his role like he does.
Agreed, 100%. Okay, so and it would be like some people might think that he would be like your knockoff Bruce Willis, but to me, Bruce Willis would way oversell the role of Mike.
Oh, dude, Bruce Willis would fall flat entirely.
Okay, so it starts off, and it's the scene where he was about to snipe Hector Salamanca, I think, at the end of last season. And then all of a sudden his car starts beeping, and it's either a stick or a stone branch, or something like a branch that is propping into it, and a note that says, "Don't." And so he goes flying off in this episode, and I love when he stops and starts looking around his car, and it's in the middle of, would you call that a desert or a prairie?
I think it's a desert.
It's not a prairie?
I didn't see much grass.
There was grass, though. That's why I'm not sure if it's a desert or a prairie.
Maybe it was a prairie, then.
Either way.
Were there dogs?
Nobody can see me look at you reproachingly.
That did say there was dogs barking on the background.
Like, did it really?
10 seconds in the closed caption.
All I noticed was the fucking pecans or the pistachios.
Yeah, how's a deaf person gonna know the difference between a walnut shell and a pistachio shell? Did it need to say pistachio that many times?
He knows when the varnish is being taken off of a walnut.
Nice.
Let's just say that. But I love the shot of it because there's like the storm rolling in the background, and it's like, I love the way that the sky looks there. It's like all these purples and orange. It's just beautiful. But anyway, he goes driving, goes to that junkyard, gets it put up on the lift, the car that is, and he's underneath, and it's this really long, drawn-out scene, which I found interesting.
I liked all the camera angles and shit, like where it's looking at you through a tailpipe.
Yeah.
Or the guy. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And I just find it interesting that, because what's great about him is he is so thorough and just knowledgeable.
Yes.
Well, it's just fucking shame that his life went the direction that it did, because he's so fucking brilliant. Like, he has some like genius level stuff going on there.
Fucking toll booth Willie.
Yeah. I mean, like, God, he could have been in some sort of like corporate security or something like that.
He was at one point.
Yeah, I guess that's
he just
true.
Wants to be retired, and he's done with that. But he never
bummer.
seems to be done with that.
Or retired.
He seems to have final endeavors all the time.
Yeah, it is a shame.
That's true. Why is he getting all these little weird fucking odd jobs? Why can't he just go work, go do those kind of things for legit, maybe the government or something on the up and up?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
Nanners?
There's. Huh? Nanners? Yeah, you're out there, Nanners? We don't know if Nanners is listening to this.
Nanners fucking loves me. I'm sure. Or us. I'm sure.
We might be on our own here. There might not be a Nanners life raft out there for us.
I'm going to be straight pissed.
For anybody joining us for the first time, Nanners is the person that we throw to that listen to all of our Walking Dead podcasts. And whenever there's some tiny little Easter egg that we didn't get, we throw it to Nanners. And lo and behold, 2 days later, what do we see in our email is a nice message from Nanners. Actually, it's from our subreddit. Gonna pimp that out real quick since Nanners is the only one who ever comments. I maintain the shit out of that. I designed the flair. I learned fucking CSS coding just to make a fucking subreddit for Boob Tube Buddies. And at least Nanners appreciates it.
Nanners and the tumbleweeds.
It's worth it for Nanners.
Oh, what a good guy. Quit stepping on my Kool-Aid.
Okay, so let's see. What happens here? He goes inside and he, I guess, sees the gas caps for sale inside, and that triggers in his head like, oh, it must be inside the gas cap. I don't know. It's a little on the nose there.
I mean, maybe he was probably sitting there going over and over all the things that he looked at. Where the fuck else could it be? And then, I mean, seeing that could have been a light bulb. Like, actually, those come apart.
Yeah, as far as like a leading scene from a TV show, that you just have to live with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, he ends up figuring it out, and a huge part of the episode is him dealing with all the shit that comes with that.
I started getting confused, weird. There's just so many fucking gas caps, and then there's, I guess, 2 of the little transmitter things.
Yeah, let's talk about the rest of Mike's stuff right now. Like, let's go out of order and just talk about his stuff. So he goes to the veterinarian guy in the middle of the night and asks him to pick him up one of these. That's what it is.
Same, yes.
Exactly. So then the guy gets it for him. He goes home and he creates, or he sets it all up himself. And then he makes it seem like the battery is dead in the other one by frying it out. He fries out the battery.
Before that, didn't he leave the gas cap at his work?
Yeah, he did.
So why didn't they go to his work instead of his house?
Because he had not taken out the thing was not in there. The tracker was not in there. He brought the tracker home with him and the battery from it and everything like that. And then he set off the little thing so that they would come and realize that the battery's fucked up. And so, but first he went and he placed the new tracker in there so he could tail them back to wherever they're at. So now he knows who it is, or at least where they are.
Nice.
So that's what that was all about.
All right.
And there were pistachios in there, obviously.
Lots of pistachios.
There was some weird old-fashioned music. I don't think that... there was a 3-point turn. But yeah, that was all of Mike's plot line, basically.
Did you get a good look, or were you supposed to know?
No. I do not think so.
It's just a shadowy figure at this point?
It was not any character that I recognized.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be, I'm not going to be able to think of his name.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think it was
He was not in this episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that was him.
All right.
You're talking about the guy that when he was working
makes
with the
deals in
nerdy
the
guy.
barn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's switch back over to not Mike's stuff, but Kim, where she meets at Mesa Verde with her friend Paige, who is like the higher up there.
Right.
So she is really moving in on this Mesa Verde account.
Oh, they love her.
Yes, she turns in the stuff. It's fucking great. She got the court date moved up 3 weeks, which is exactly what they need, because they need to close this deal out, because it's money being fucking wasted every moment
fucking
that they haven't closed it. Yes. So she looks awesome. And that's when she decides, you know what? I need to pour through all this stuff and do it, make sure that it's all good. And she goes back, and that honestly was the most exhausting scene in the entire show.
What was it even for?
Just basically
to show her.
I don't know. Maybe she has some of the same OCD type tendencies that drive Chuck mad.
Maybe because she was fine with it until Paige started bringing up how they didn't have their shit together and how they were making mistakes. And you think
that's a good point. Okay, so clearly that to her, she was like, oh, fuck, I want to make sure I don't make those mistakes.
And I totally understand that. I totally get even taking this stuff back, even though she was fine with it. But what I don't get is that she wasn't going over details or anything.
No.
Just how to separate
period,
those
semicolon,
two.
dash, period, semicolon,
that's
dash,
fucking silly.
Yeah, and to show it that many times over was...
we get it,
Yeah, belabor the point a little bit.
Yes, totally.
All right, I really am dying to play Two Truths and One Big Little Lie. Can we kick to it?
If you let all the listeners know how we're starting with a clean slate because you fucked me over in the Walking Dead one.
All right, we'll get into that here in a second. Here is Two Truths and One Big Little Lie.
Let's play a game called
Two Truths and One Big
Little Lie.
The point of Two Truths and One Big Little Lie, if you've never actually heard of the game before, which is actually just two truths and a lie, it is basically 3 statements, 2 of which are true, 1 of which is false, and I fucking crushed Jables in The Walking Dead. I mean, It was embarrassing. Everybody that listened wrote in and just expressed their condolences. R.I.P. Jables on Wikipedia.
Wow.
And it was terrible. I will say he's certainly going to win this one because I caught him peeking in my fucking notes earlier.
I mean, I feel like I just have to blow the whistle on all of that shit right now. First and foremost, you only beat me by 1 in the entire series of Walking Dead.
Slaughtered you by 1. Okay, I'm with you
And
so
that
far.
is because you wouldn't allow me to have a 2 truths, 1 little lie on the last episode that would have tied us up. Because you have home court advantage and you just took the ball and fucking went inside.
That's what happens when I'm the host and I'm joined by Jables.
Joined by the guest, shitty-ass Jables. So, secondly, I didn't see shit.
Wow, nice whistle.
Yeah, I like that. I saw... It doesn't matter. Everybody knows how much fucking full of shit you are, so...
Wow, oh my god.
I mean, when the competitiveness comes out, it's just...
The heat in this room starts coming up, and my god.
Quit covering the screen. My eyesight is fucking like a 9-year-old
I see you looking
woman.
over there.
I
Your
couldn't
eyes
see.
darting to the side.
You're out of control.
Fucking
Go ahead.
sneakster.
Start it off.
No, you started off, you goddamn snake.
It's getting a little tense in here. And it is really hot in this fucking moving box.
Let's see, what do you got, man?
All right. I did mine on Raymond Cruz, who plays Tuco Salamanca.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you.
Good pronunciation.
Thanks, brother. I worked on it for hours.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Fact 1. He has appeared in more than 30 different television series. Fact 2. He accidentally knocked out Jesse Pinkman in an episode of Breaking Bad. Fact 3. He is only 5 feet, 5 inches tall.
Okay, he does look kind of short. I feel like he definitely accidentally hit Jesse. I don't know if he knocked him out. And the problem with the 31 is it could be like fucking 27. You could be being a sneaky weasel. I'm going to go with he didn't actually knock Jesse out.
He did actually knock Jesse
did
out.
he really?
He gave him like a light concussion. And,
Wow.
the episode when they took him back to like that little shed when he met the uncle. You can actually see it if you rewatch it. I didn't, but this is what the website said. You can see Jesse's head get hit off of the door, and at that point he's actually out, and Tuco didn't know, so he keeps like kicking him and shit while he's down, and he was just unconscious the whole time. He got up and he was on like rubbery legs, and it was like he had to go to the hospital and everything else.
Wow. Okay, what's the false one?
5'5".
How tall is he?
5'7".
That's fucking... You are fucking slipping Jimmy over there.
There's a big difference between 5'5" and 5'7".
Oh, yeah. The difference between your height and then somebody who's 5'7".
Goddamn hilarious. What a funny guy you are. All right,
Okay.
but I'm up by 1.
Yeah. You are about to be because you saw my fucking answer.
You're so full of shit.
I did Kim Wexler, which is Rhea Seehorn. So, Truth 1. She played Tim Allen's daughter in the Santa Claus movies. Truth 2. Rhea was pretty much, by her own admission, pigeonholed as a sitcom actress for 10 years before being cast in this role. Truth 3. And this is a quote from Rhea about being on Better Call Saul. We do not have rewrites. We do not ad-lib. We do not improv. What you got, buddy?
I hope it's not fucking 3, because that's really fucking shitty. I think 2 is all right. Is she...
You going with 1?
I feel like she's too old right now to be... I'm gonna go with 1.
You sure?
Quit trying to change my mind.
No. You can go with it. That's fine. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah! Dude, she's old as shit. She's not gonna be able to be Tim Allen's fucking little
Those
girl.
movies were from like the mid-90s.
I don't think the age will add up.
I don't know how old the daughter was. I don't know if there's a daughter in those movies.
I don't know if there's a daughter either, but if there was a daughter, I think she'd be younger than Kim Wexler.
Okay, all right, nicely done. All right, so you know what? I won The Walking Dead, but you are up now in this. That doesn't just even it out. You are actually leading now in this season.
All right, now if we go into the season finale and I'm up 1, can I say we're not doing it?
No, fuck no.
That is fucking awesome.
That's what happens when you're on the away team.
All right, you're the big guy that spends all the money on the moving blankets, I guess you do. And that is 2 truths and 1 big little lie.
And 1 big
Little lie. Hello, Robo Foxman here to tell you about Boob Tube Buddies' new sponsor, Blue Apron. When I cook for Robo, Bethany, and my beautiful children, it is a time that brings us all together. Blue Apron makes it simple and affordable for you to provide that wonderful time for your system error. This week, I tried the recipe for, they have a wine section? 6 premium wines delivered monthly? Let's give this a whirl.
Ooh, that hits the spot.
If you're interested in
Trying Blue Apron anyway.
go to blueapron.com/BTB
BTB.
to get $30 off
Your first order. It's a fantastic way to contribute to my drinking.
problem, and it's amazing food for you and the family.
Again, that's
blueapron.com/BTB. Enjoy, little buddies.
All right, we are back. Hope you guys enjoyed that 2 truths and 1 big little lie, and that, let's see, what kind of ad am I going to put in this time?
Blue Apron?
Yeah, let's do Blue Apron.
All right.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed that Blue Apron ad that just happened that Jables just decided in the future. Man, really peeling back the moving blankets on what's going on here.
No.
Okay, so let's talk about the scene where the soldier comes in. Now, that was based off of the scene from last season where he had gone to film his commercial, lied his way onto the fucking military base.
That.
He's such a sneakster, but the guy, the captain, I guess, has realized it, and Jimmy's basically calling him on his bluff. He's like, what are you going to do about it? Make me take it down.
To be fair, what I found about this scene was it's the first time we actually almost saw Slippin' Jimmy start turning into Saul Goodman.
Okay.
You know, he put on his big boy pants and he was Better Call Saul. The first glimpse of him. Kind of like in Breaking Bad when Walter White let the junkie die. That's when he first started Breaking Bad and turning into Heisenberg. I feel like a similar situation with the transformation.
Yeah, I mean, there have been other little moments, but this was definitely a glaring one. Like,
Right.
make me. I'm going to tell your commander that you let me on there. You think that the army wants to go after an old guy in a wheelchair? And then the dude's just like, you know, fuck you. Guys like you think you're so smart. You don't have to play it straight with anybody. Something about the wheel's going to turn.
The wheel's going to turn. It always does. Which we know for a fact is not true because it's not like he ends up at a Cinnabon.
Yeah, the wheel definitely turns for old Jimmy, Saul, Gene.
I can make that joke now that I understand the show.
So see, we are informative on here. Well, one of us is.
Oh.
But one of us is being informed.
Yeah, you're informing the shit out of me right now.
Okay, the last scene that I want to talk about is Ernesto when he goes to deliver the groceries and the ice and the batteries to Chuck.
Okay.
Okay, so he gets there, he drops the stuff off, and because Chuck's such a goddamn goober, he can't put the batteries in himself. So Ernesto goes over, pops the batteries in, and somehow it instantly starts playing the thing. Like, what a fucking Goebbels type move.
On who?
On fucking Chuck for leaving the play button on.
Okay, well, let me inform you on some fucking knowledge.
Oh.
Well, it's a thought. I don't know if it's actually knowledge. I was under the impression that Chuck did that on purpose. That he wanted Ernesto to
because he was smirking afterwards.
He did have a little evil smirk. Maybe that's the one thing he knows what to do. I think that was all planned.
Interesting. Yeah, because he did lay it on pretty thick of like, there will be life-changing consequences. Like, if you tell anybody, you understand the need to respect the confidentiality of the... Yeah, okay.
So do you think he knows the bond that Jimmy and him have? Because remember, they're tight. Ernesto loves Jimmy.
He certainly does if what you're saying is correct.
Right. I think it is, because that didn't seem like a Chuck move to have it on play. Like, why would it ever have been just pushed play? And then
I don't know, because he is meticulous with some things, but he's also a fucking dingus with other things.
All right. Well, that's just my take. I mean, I didn't know it was in the future, so who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But
no, that could be legit.
Another little, I guess, theory that I have, and this is just completely out of thin air, but I noticed, maybe it's because we saw the preview for next episode, but it got me thinking, what if Ernesto is the son of Gus?
I guess so. I don't see anything other than a physical similarity that would say that.
Whoa! Can we edit that out somehow?
No. That's gonna be in our promo reel.
God damn it. That's going to be the Vine of the podcast. What's the thing?
Oh, the thing that I did one time and then forgot about and can't remember the name of.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool. All right. I think with us, like, fucking folly after folly, making our way through this, stumbling through the episode, I think it's time that we bring on somebody who knows what they're talking about, somebody who has watched Better Call Saul through several times and Breaking Bad through, like, a fucking dozen times.
Nice.
So this interview that I did was with Rick from the Better Call Saul subreddit, and he is a mega fan and really well informed. So let's kick it over to this interview real quick, and we will be right back.
Player 3 has entered the game.
I am joined tonight by Rick, whom I met through the Better Call Saul subreddit, and just an FYI, we are reaching out to you guys from the past, a simpler time, March 28th, the year 2017. What's going on, Rick? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man. So, real quick before we get into everything, you and I were just talking, and I thought I was a huge Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fan. You put me to shame. How many times through have you watched Breaking Bad?
Legitimately, I probably rewatched it 5 or 6 times, so a total of 6 or 7 total watches through the entire show.
That is fucking nuts. So, I mean, do you watch other stuff, or are you just like obsessive about this universe?
I've given other shows a try, but honestly, this universe, like, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, just everything about it is so compelling to me, and the fact that Better Call Saul is like currently, in development just makes me super happy because I can look forward to watching new episodes every week, which I couldn't do with Breaking Bad because I got into it after the show was ended, so I could only watch it on Netflix, but...
Yeah, I had a little bit of the best of both worlds with Breaking Bad in that I got into it around, well, when it went on Netflix, if I recall correctly, which is maybe season 3. So I got to binge watch the first couple of seasons, and then I was caught up live after that. And they had a killer Breaking Bad podcast that Vince Gilligan was doing. Did you ever listen to that at all?
I don't think I have.
Dude,
actually,
it's a fucking gold mine. It's so good. They bring on sometimes like Aaron Paul or Bryan Cranston. They have writers on there, and Vince Gilligan does it. Oh, it's a great companion for the show. So
That's
definitely
awesome.
worth checking out. Okay, let's hop into this a little bit. So obviously, keep in mind that this episode that your interview is going on, we'll have already watched the first episode by then, but for everybody listening, this is before the season airs, so I just kind of want to go and do some overarching things, like what are you hoping to see happen this season?
I think the biggest thing that I want to see start to happen pacing wise is I want to see Saul Goodman actually start to become like his own person. Right now he's still Jimmy McGill. We haven't really seen like too much of that side of him, and that's something that the writers get a lot of shit for, is making the first 2 seasons too slow as far as pacing goes. So I guess I would like to see it pick up, and I think that's definitely going to happen with the introduction of Gus, or reintroduction, should I say, of Gus, and
Great point.
yeah, so I just want to see more Saul, to be honest. I mean, that's what the show's called, so I want to see more of him.
Yes, and we're now 3 seasons in, or we're about to hop into the 3rd season, and all we've seen, if I recall correctly, is really just those scenes of him post Breaking Bad, where he's the manager of the Cinnabon, exactly, which is a really sad, drab, depressing ending for this vibrant character.
Definitely. Also, another thing I want to get to is
I
can't wait for the cold open of the premiere for season 3, because we're going to see Gene again, the black and white cold open at the Cinnabon.
Awesome, nice. I didn't know that actually. How do you know that?
The first episode of each season. Well, I mean, I don't think it's confirmed. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but
I got you. You're going off the
first episode of
pattern.
season 1, the first episode of season 2 have started off with post Breaking Bad cold opens. So
that is very true. Okay,
I
good
figure
point.
we'll get to see Gene one more time, or not one more time. We'll get to see him in season 3. So
You had mentioned Gus, which I know everybody is so fucking excited for, and deservedly so. He's one of the most dynamic characters in the entire universe.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, aside from Gus, who do you expect / maybe hope to make a cameo this season?
Well, there has been a few rumors about Aaron Paul coming on.
True.
But he likes to tease. Like, he's done that in previous seasons where he kind of, throws a bone, I guess, for the fans to hope for, and it hasn't happened yet. So I don't think a Walter Jesse cameo is really necessary. I think it would be too much of like a fan servicey type thing. I think that if they're gonna have cameos, they should definitely have something to do with the actual storyline. Like Tuco, he fit in perfect. Mike, obviously, he's a great side story for Saul. But I would like to see. I think they could fit in Hank as another character, because he was familiar with Saul during Breaking Bad, so they've obviously known each other before Breaking Bad. So I feel like Hank would be probably a good character to bring on if they did it right.
I would love to see if they were going to do any of those bigger characters. I would actually prefer to see them in like a almost tongue-in-cheek sort of way, like literally just walking by in the background. Like there's an episode of The Office where Conan O'Brien walks by in the background, and I just think it's so funny. Yeah, because he has 0 lines, doesn't look at the camera or anything, just literally walks by in the background when I think Michael Scott's in New York City.
They could have Walt at the car wash or something like that.
That's it. Like just in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. Okay, so last question for you here. Sure. You had kind of talked about pacing issues with the first 2 seasons. I don't know if that was just something that other people had an issue with, but just overall, what do you think that could improve? Other than him actually turning into Saul this season, anything leap out at you as like just things that maybe could use some tightening up?
I think aside from pacing, they could do a better job of focusing on both Mike and Saul's and Jimmy's storylines, because I feel like season 1 was more focused on Jimmy, which is understandable because they want to introduce him to people that haven't watched Breaking Bad. But I want to see. Maybe it's because I have like favoritism towards Mike, but I want to see a lot more Mike in this season, which I think we will with the introduction of Gus, because he's going to tie in with him.
100%, he's going to be their common thread.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Well, I know that at first when we got on together here, I thought that you had a podcast, but no, it's actually you have a YouTube channel. Do you want to go ahead and pimp that out real quick before we go?
Oh, no. I don't feel like people listening to your podcast would be too interested in what I do on my YouTube channel, so it's totally okay. I don't need to.
Okay, good for, you know what? Normally all we have on here is guys just looking to whore out their stuff, and it's so fucking obnoxious. No, I'm kidding. But okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, right on. Well, Rick, it was an absolute pleasure. We're definitely gonna have to have you back on.
Oh yeah,
particularly,
please. This is so fun.
The only issue here is, I mean, you're clearly overshadowing me, and I don't like that. So we're gonna need to dumb you down next time, okay? Like, let's work on your character, okay?
Definitely.
All right, man. Well, hey, you have a great night. Look forward to having you back on.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
Player 3 has left the game.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much to Rick for coming on and joining us and adding at least a little bit of sense and sensibility to this podcast. It was really good.
Thanks, Rick.
Yes, thank you very much, Rick. And actually, throughout the season, we're going to have a bunch of people on. I have some local comics. I have other podcasters. I have some old faces from our Black Mirror interviews. A lot of people that are going to be coming on to do this. So it's a lot to look forward to. But anyway, that was the first episode. There were some highs, a lot of not even lows,
just stagnant.
More like lulls.
Yes.
So lulls. That's like the worst fucking word. Rural juror. Coral. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be releasing this pretty much every Tuesday morning throughout the duration of Better Call Saul. If you are interested in tuning into any of our other stuff, we also have Feud currently going. We're about to do an Iron Fist wrap-up. We have Fargo this month, American Gods, and Sense8 will be about a month from now. So that's pretty much it. Leave us 5 stars on iTunes. I don't know, a bunch of other shit. What? Patreon, Audible, Blue Apron,
Thank
Facebook,
you,
Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Reddit. I don't know.
And Shawn Mendes.
And Shawn Mendes. Thank you, Shawn Mendes, for that fucking weird pop song. Jables, why don't you tie a bow on this bitch?
We will see you next time, little buddies.